Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Up Only.
Hello and welcome to Up Only TV. We've got Justin Sun on the show today. Can't be more excited for it to learn all about what's going on in his crypto world. Thanks for being here, everybody. It's an early show for us, but that's okay. We know that you're hyped and ready to go and ready to hear about Blockfolio. Go to uponly.tv/Blockfolio. Check it out today. Make a trade directly on your phone. It's a mobile-first experience. You can go directly from one asset to the other. You can also track your portfolio like you've always known and loved. It's a great experience. Thanks so much to Blockfolio for being our exclusive partner for Up Only TV, uponly.tv/Blockfolio. Let's get to the show. Cobie, hello.
Hiya, how you doing?
I'm doing
Is it
great.
early for you, mate?
What's that?
Is it too early for you?
It's very early, but it's okay. I'm hyped. I got a couple cups of coffee in and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you're managing it for Justin. Justin, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hi, Cobie. I'm good.
Welcome, welcome. I mean, I don't know how to start off the show without saying rest in peace to John McAfee. What a character. A total legend, a very complicated man. Yeah, rest in peace. I'm following all this like weird post-death dead man switch stuff very closely with great interest. But rest in peace, John. F in the chat for McAfee. Hope his family and his partners, body doubles. I hope they're all doing all right. But let's get to it. Justin is with us. The man, the myth, the legend, the founder of TRON, the buyer of extremely expensive NFTs, and apparently the man that caused the bear market, which we'll get into later because there's been some rumors that we maybe need to address, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. Justin, how you been? What's been happening? Have you been surviving these market moves? Are you all right?
Yes, I'm keep buying in the bearish markets. I think, as I predict before, I think June is definitely gonna have some market crash, but we will definitely see bull back in July, August. So I think we are still just in like a consolidation period in a bull market. So that's why every time market crash, we continue to buy. I think it's also a good way to encourage the crypto community continue to build and have this kind of the optimism in our community.
So you think it's literally up only? We got like a month consolidation, and then we're like soaring to new highs.
I definitely believe in July, August, we will see better performance than what we've seen in May and June. And also, I believe in July and August, we will see more development on NFT side as well. As I know, like lots of the infrastructure is ready to build and shape to more people in second half of the year. For example, like recently, Binance just released their NFT platform, and we launched the first auction, Genesis auction of Andy Warhol's NFT on Binance platform. So I think more and more platform is getting ready. So we will definitely continue to see NFT in our space.
That makes a lot of sense. It does feel like the NFT space is heating up again. Even Alistair Milne bought something and just randomly 10x'd an NFT, and that Bored Ape thing has been doing really well. Ledger, what's going on with my video? Because I can see myself moving, but on the stream, I'm just dead still.
We've put you in a still image, and OBS has not told me why yet.
All right, do you want me to stop my video and restart, or
no? It's not your Zoom. Don't worry about it. I'll just fix it. I'll just fix it. Don't worry about it. It's
right, I'll be a pitcher.
You're just a really good one of those lip talkers.
Am I getting whacked? People... I'm getting whacked. But yeah, it does seem like the NFT there's been like a resurgence in NFT stuff recently, but it might just because I talk to Cryptopathic a lot and he always tries to sell me his NFTs. On the topic of NFTs, we've got to talk about the Beeple auction and a lot of the auctions where you've been either the highest bidder or the second highest bidder. I think one of them was Jack's first ever tweet. You were bidding on the Beeple auction. You were bidding on, I think you were the second highest bidder on that. I think your bid didn't go through or something. And there's been a few others. Can you tell us a little bit about why you're bidding on those things? Like, did you think the Beeple was worth $70 million?
Yes, sure. So I'm also like traditional like art collectors, but I definitely believe eventually, I mean, in the next 10, 20 years, our generation gonna have all our collection basically based on purely on internet, instead of in the past we know like Picasso's work, Andy Warhol's work, and everything is basically in gallery, right? Some like physical place you can pay with it, but I think in the future it's just like how like internet digitalize newspaper and Bitcoin digitalize like money and gold. I think eventually NFT gonna digitalize like everything and every collection you have. So I won't be like surprised, right? In the future, we will see more and more people share his collection only online, like rather than we have this kind of the offline like gallery. So I believe in the future more and more museum and all these kind of the art gallery gonna be moved online. So that's why I think NFT is just like one trend in all these things happening now. So and also recently, even I mean this is a joke, but I think it's also worth mention. Like recently, there is basically a game car in China. So so basically, the people who bought this like game car got confiscated by government because like he's doing some bribe thing, but the car is get confiscated by government, and the government thinks it's only worth like up 100 like RMB. It's just like game car, so so it's like around $20, something like that. But it's one auction, the price went up to like $10 million on government website. So so I think that's like also
Was that
one
you as well? Was that you bidding that?
Not me. Yeah, but I think this is a very good example to show basically the younger generation, their view of value is definitely like different from like what government seeing it, right? In government's eyes, this is just like a game card, didn't worth anything at all. But like in younger generation, because the game is like very famous, and all the Chinese people in their younger age, they play those games. So that's why like the price goes up to like insane like price. So that's why I think these things will continue to happen. We don't know, right? So in the future, I mean, after 10 years, 20 years, people is still the one, right, has the most like value in the industry. But definitely, I think we're gonna have something, right? So as great as like Picasso in the future, they're gonna have the same price. It's gonna be like Picasso in our generation. We just don't know who it is, but I think eventually it's gonna happen.
All right. So will you be trying to pick up the Beeple when they like, if there's a bear market that continues, are you going to try and buy up a bunch of this stuff in the lows as well?
Yes, I think so. So I think I will continue to increase my NFT purchase, right? So right now I only have like very small percentage of my assets is NFT. But I want to continue to buy more valuable NFT. And I mean, no matter it is bull market or bear market, I think when my like collection reach to 20th, like 50s of them, I may have like an online like gallery show or something to show like everybody's my NFT collection.
I actually saw that the Beeple, the B20 collection that Metacovan put together, I think that was who it was. It got down to, it's $3.5 million market cap now for 20 one-of-a-kind Beeples, down like 90%. And I think it made the highs around when y'all were competing on that bid for the dailies. So yeah, it seems like there's some opportunity out there right now, but people aren't as attracted to that format of Beeples. Like they get a share of it, but they don't actually get to hold it in their address or anything like that. So it'll be interesting how the evolution of what people desire when they're holding NFTs, like how that evolves, especially with the art side of things.
The NFT markets to me often feel just like an altcoin for a picture. So like they have the same chart patterns, they have the same like cycles as just like any altcoin, all the way back to like Cryptsy and BTC altcoins. But instead of a coin, it's just a picture. And like the B20 or whatever it was called traded just exactly like one of those, like a huge silver news event on the big auction. And minus 90% classic crypto drawdowns. But you got to tell me about this Jack tweet. What's the thesis behind the Jack tweet? Surely no one's coming to a digital gallery in the future to look at a Jack tweet.
Yes, definitely. I think like back to like 100 or 200 years, right? 200 years ago, when we visit like a museum, right? So we have lots of like collection. We're gonna tell people like this is like for example like the first crown, right? Of like monarchy or something like that, right? So I think in the future, for the internet era, we also gonna have this kind of the souvenir, right, of those era. So I think Jack's tweet is definitely one of them, right? So it's like the first tweet, like tweeted by Twitter's founder, you know. So I think it's like this kind of the stuff, you know. So I think definitely the value. To be honest, I don't even know what's the value of that tweet, right? But I do think this is like one of the marks of internet history, right? So same, but I mean this is by accident, right? So this one become like NFT. You can buy it like on the internet, but I think it's just like first like Instagram, right? Or like the first like first Twitch like video, anything like that, right? So if this is like some basically symbol of the internet, I think is first of all worth something, and second of all, I think this is like the special moment of the internet history. So I think definitely worth something. And also I hope, I mean, in the future, on internet, right, people can have this kind of the internet museum, right? So you can just click, get in and see like all the special moment of internet history. So
I think if you're going to buy a tweet, you might as well buy the first one though, you know?
Are you sure? I just buy a cheap one. I got that one. I'll take any. Ledger, while you're here, you might want to talk about a very rare me bit that you own.
Yeah, if you want some rare me bits, I can shoot you a link to one that you can buy looking to offload. I don't have as much discretionary income as you do, Justin. So I actually had a question for you about what you think in terms of market share of what the activity will be on smart contract platforms. Right now, we're seeing a mainstream adoption of NFTs. You have a smart contract platform with TRON, and there's also been a lot going on in the DeFi landscape. And I feel like industry insiders think DeFi is way more important, but what we saw be adopted by the mainstream was much more along the NFT world. Do you think these will both be pretty similarly sized in the future, or do you think that one will be much larger than the other as an individual ecosystem? What are your thoughts about that type of market share?
Yes, I think first of all, I mean, I think if you, in terms of the market value, I definitely think like DeFi is gonna be like much larger than NFT. But I mean, if you're talking about like attention, press, like coverage, NFT is the king, right? It's just like, I mean, Wells Fargo, I mean, handle like tradings of the assets, right? But Wells Fargo is not like always on the headline, right? So I think this is like what finance industry, right? So most of the financing things happen in the finance industry. It's not like on the headline, right? So it's not like on the news because this is too complicated, and most of the people, I mean, the ordinary people, they don't pay attention to very professional finance evolution, basically. But you know, like every NFT got auctioned on the internet will definitely get on headline like every day, right? So like first tweet, like some gifts worth like $70 million, right? So everybody wants to talk about that, but because this is very easy to like understand, right? I see those like similar comments on like Picasso's artwork, right? So people say like, I can draw those paintings as well, right? So how I can get like 70 or $80 million. So that's why I think we can have this kind of the both way to increase the mass adoption of our industry, crypto world. I think for DeFi, that's like where a place we can really attract capital into our industry, which will eventually move the price and move the development of crypto. I think the best example is the DeFi explosion happened since last year. All the DeFi application, I think put together TVL grow from almost zero to 50 billions now. And also, but I think if you want people to get interest into crypto or start to trying to talk about crypto, talk to their friends in dinner, lunch, their meetings, I think NFT is the best way, because NFT is like everybody gonna know about it, right? It's a picture, like everybody can make comments on that. So that's why this year we are also trying to collaborate with lots of celebrities to get their NFT, to get their artworks on like blockchain, right? So some people may think this is just like not like every celebrity's NFT gonna worth something, right? But for me, I think it's like even those celebrities join the crypto group, made the NFT is a winning for the crypto industry, because we get to more and more people in the world. So that's like, I think this is how we can get to like 1 billion people or even more like people in the world.
It makes a lot of sense to me, and I've actually never thought of it in that way in regards to finance on the news. Typically, if finance is on the news, it's like really, really bad news, like something went horribly wrong. And if DeFi works, it should be pretty invisible to the end user or to the mainstream world. They should just be enjoying the fact that they're, participating in the finance world, but they're probably not talking about it all the time. Whereas if you have your favorite collectibles, like you want to tell other people about it. That's an interesting one. Cobie, did you have any follow-ups to that, or I want to get some origin story stuff?
Yeah, I want to switch gears a little bit, and I want to ask a bit about how you got into crypto, and then how you came to be the creator of TRON. I want to like hear the whole journey of like how you discovered it, how you decided to become a founder, and then how you think TRON has gone over the years.
Yes, I want to add something to NFT, the final one. So I have like a very good theory. So I feel like eventually the artworks, right, which artworks works the most, basically depends on like how many people see it. So very simple. It's just like the crypto product or internet like product is defined by like how many people use it, right? So you don't have to like get revenue from those product, right? Lots of like internet like product is losing money, right? Like Amazon, they keep like losing money, right? Like Facebook, they lose lots of money before they turn to profit. But I think one of the very important definition is how many people ever like use those internet product at all. I think for NFT artworks it's the same. So basically how many people seen those artworks eventually gonna define the price of the artworks. So that's why I think NFT is also way better than traditional artworks or art paintings. So I don't know if you guys know, like in the traditional artwork, it's very hard to make those artworks get exposure in the first place. So for example, right? So today I own like artworks of Picasso. I need to promote these artworks in all kind of the gallery exhibition, right? And all books talk about like Picasso artwork. I need to get my paintings on those artworks. So basically there is a way like more like efforts you need to make to have these kind of artworks to seen by like people on earth basically. So, but NFT is way better because most of the artworks today is just put in some like random art storage. Never gonna see any audience, right? And the majority of the artworks in the museum is actually not like in the exhibition at all. It's all in storage. But for NFT, it's definitely better because it's all like available online, like all the image is available online and everybody can see it. I think this is very important. I can give you like an example. For most of the exhibition in the museum, right? For example, like half of them is always in storage compared to like NFT, people can see it every day. I think definitely NFT gonna have more value eventually. Even, I mean, I know this is very hard to process because lots of people gonna see seen this way. It's like, if I can see it like without even paying money, why these things have value, right? So I think this is also this kind of the story also happened in the early stage of the internet companies. So those internet companies, right? It's like WeChat, WhatsApp, like everybody use it for free. So most of the people will see like this product costs lots of money, right? For the server fee, like everything, right? Maintenance is costs lots of money. But nobody gonna pay to use those products, right? So, but you can see the history of internet. Eventually, those product is getting crazy expensive compared to like those product if you need those people to pay to use those products. So I think NFT eventually will have the same effects. I think the reason is very simple. Is in our era, attention is very important and expensive. So as long as you can get people's attention, it's getting more and more expensive. So I think that's probably one of the important reasons on that.
I love that you're a true believer. I love it.
Yeah. This NFT attention-based theory is extremely bullish for Goatsy. And if you're a listener and you don't know what Goatsy is, just don't Google it. Don't bother. Don't bother. You don't want the NFT price to go up with more attention.
No.
But
I'm just looking forward to the Justin Sun Super Bowl commercial where his portfolio of NFTs is just like all through the commercial, and he's just navigating it. That's what you need to do. It's just another like $5 million, man. Go for it.
Is that how much it costs to do a commercial? Is it only 5 mil?
About 5 million for 30 seconds or so, something like that.
But do they have
Maybe
like a
8.
creative team? Do they have a creative team where they like vet the?
They just want your money,
the
man.
advert.
You can get a Super Bowl commercial if you cough it up. You could probably even be the halftime show. You remember that guy? I don't remember who it was this last year, and he's like navigating through this maze, and it became a meme. And your maze could be your NFT gallery, and then you could just be like walking through it, like mimic that halftime show. That's what I want to see.
All right, Justin, are you going to do it? Are you going to buy a
hire
Super
me
Bowl
for your
advert?
creative team? That's what we need. Consulting only, though.
No problem.
So how did you get into crypto? How did you end up in this space? And how did you become the founder of TRON? What was your motivation?
Yes, I think I get to crypto industry in early days, like back to 2012. So at that time, I'm in like UPenn, so study, I think East Asia studies. So the first time I know about crypto is from, I think it's New York Times magazine, basically like tag column. So I see like a small piece talk about internet money. So I think that's like something the concept is very interested and get me like really into this kind of the crypto space. So before that, before this, I prepare for law school. So I take LSAT test and try to be a lawyer in the future. But I mean, basically this piece is changed my life like forever. So after this piece, I get into crypto, know about Bitcoin and get into crypto industry, right? Never come back to like law school again. So, and also I think the concept is very simple. It's also like today, right? So NFT is like internet like native connection, right? So Bitcoin is the internet native money, right? So at that time, Bitcoin price is so volatile. So some people think it's worth like nothing at all, right? It's only trade in empty box. So for like less than like $1 something, and I purchased my first NFT in Taobao in China. I think at the time is Taobao is like eBay in China. So basically they're now like even exchange at all. So people just mining it and sell it just like a souvenir, like NFT. So basically you can purchase, you name the price, right? So how much you want it, you can name the price. So it's basically depends on like how you like kind of value the internet money at all. There's no like any agency promise you they're gonna receive like Bitcoin for anything, right? So just purely based on your imagination, like how much internet money gonna be worth. You know, it's like it is kind of like today's NFT. Yeah. So basically, and also, you know, I know lots of people in China, it's very hard for them to process these things because in China, lots of people believe like if something has value, it needs to be guaranteed by government. You know, government needs to approve that, right? If there is no like government approval or guarantee, it has to be like a Ponzi scheme. So that's why like when like Bitcoin first come to China, lots of people, they don't understand it because for this kind of the decentralized community, there is no like centralized organization, right? They're gonna guarantee something, guarantee the value. It's all based on community consensus, right? So it's very hard for I think people to understand, especially when it comes to finance, because like all the banks, insurance company, exchange, they all got license from government, right? So without like government, internet money is gonna really have value. So, but I think the concept I really get interested is like, because I use like, at that time, I use like Alipay, it's just like today's PayPal every day. But I feel like the New York Times piece is right. So Alipay, PayPal is not internet of money. So basically those money is still in the fiat system, right? So it's still like based on the fiat system, how it works. They can freeze your account, right? Anytime they want, right? So basically this is just like something in the database, right? So they can delete immediately. But Bitcoin is different, right? So nobody can freeze your Bitcoin. It's completely based on internet. You can send whatever those Bitcoin you want. So that's like how I get interested into crypto. I remember I buy my first Bitcoin on Taobao, and also I share with my friends, why I think Bitcoin is important. This is like the money of internet. But I think at that time, nobody believed me at all. So they believed me. I think 2012. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they just think this is like some like, I don't know, like a random scam on internet. So yeah.
Did you have to get new friends when you became a billionaire? And they didn't buy?
I think I keep contact with lots of my old friends. They wish like they should listen to me to buy some Bitcoin in 2012. That's how I get into the space. And after I think after like get interested into Bitcoin, I joined like Ripple in 2013. I think Ripple is like very early, those crypto companies. At that time, even for altcoins, we only have like Litecoin, right? XRP, right? Some like serious crypto, right? We have like Prime Coin, something like Peer Coin, right? So and
nightmares.
yeah. And I buy those crypto as well. I bought like hundreds millions of like XRP. When those XRP is trading in, I think lots of people, if they get into our space later, they don't even know those things. It's like Ripple those days, they have lots of like internal exchanges, so you can basically trade XRP in those exchanges. It's not like Binance today. It's more like centralized, decentralized, hybrid exchanges at those days. I bought lots of Ripple in those kind of the exchanges and also I bought lots of other coins like Ethereum, back in like Poloniex, like those days. When I first saw like Poloniex page, it feels like a scam exchange to me, because the
Now you own it.
yeah. It really feels like a scam exchange, because the web page is so like shady, it's like, but there's the only place you can literally buy like Ethereum, like Ethereum Classic, all different kinds of altcoin at that time. So I have to use it, because if I want to buy crypto, that's the only place. So
are you were you a hold forever type of person? Like, did you hold a long time, or were you just swing trading stuff? How did you approach the market back then?
I think for most of the crypto, if I feel like they really have some fundamentals. But at that time, I don't think like anybody has. But if I believe them really have fundamentals, I gonna hold them. So I hold lots of like Ethereum, and Ethereum. At back those days, I have lots of Ethereum Classic, and also XRP. Besides like Bitcoin, because when like Ethereum forks, I was like a believer of like Ethereum Classic at that time, because I feel like, right, you can't like change the ledger or the history, right? It violates the spirit of like blockchain, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, it proves like it is very important to have like very active developer teams eventually, right? But at that time, Poloniex, I think, is also very supportive. Ethereum Classic, Poloniex is the first exchange to support those forks back in those days. So I purchased all the Ethereum Classic at that time on like Poloniex. So I think back to like those days, I'm like altcoin trader. And also, I get interested into smart contract platform. This kind of concept, I think, is very important. Has a huge potential. Probably gonna change our industry eventually. So that's why I get to found it like TRON platform. It's basically a smart contract platform, faster than Ethereum, right? So I think the early concept of TRON is like similar to what we have even today for lots of Ethereum competitor. So we are more like hybrid between like B-shares and the Ethereum back to those days, right? B-shares is the first basically depots mechanism protocol. Even I mean EOS upgrade a little bit, but I think B-shares is the first one. Steam B-shares is the first one, and also so basic consensus mechanism. We have this kind of the depots mechanism, and for smart contract, I think we are the first competitive Ethereum smart contract compatible with EVM. So we have this kind of the EVM compatible solution with decentralized depot solution together. So that's how we get into the space and start to create decentralized smart contract platform, which I think eventually gonna prevail since like Ethereum is very slow, right? So back to like 2015 when Ethereum first invented is very slow. So I think we're gonna have like lots of people gonna use it because Ethereum is slow, right? So that's like how the idea first comes out, and we keep building. I think today's our best product is USDT on TRON. So lots of people use them to trade, right? That's also something. The first time I see the USDT, I thought it has great potential since lots of people, especially with those people, just want to trade crypto, right? So they don't want to like be a long time holder. They want stablecoin. It's very important, right? So also it's very important for the people outside of the crypto community to understand, right? So understand about the crypto. So that's why I contact Tether to get them on TRON and get every exchange to support USDT on TRON. So I'm glad today this become like basically we have like everybody using this product every day. I think we'll continue to copy these to USDC, TUSD, like basically all the crypto stable coins in the world, and try to become like a global settlement layer for the next generation.
Yeah, it does seem there's been a large penetration of Tether onto the TRON network versus other networks. Why do you think there's been such an interest in Tether on TRON, like outsized to other on-chain activity, I guess?
Yes. First of all, that's like this is very interesting. So when I first like joined Ripple back to 2013, so when I asked like founder Chris Larsen what Ripple for, I mean, Chris Larsen told me Ripple is trying to become the Swift, decentralized Swift, and gonna connect all the banks, settlement layer, cleanery system. So basically, in the future, you can send money, like US dollars, like sending emails in the future. But after, I think, these like 8 years, almost like 9 years, right? When I first heard this story, actually the Tether on TRON become like the closest to this kind of the concept. I mean, after these 8 years of development. So Ripple, I mean, today, I don't think they are succeed in this mission, right? So still you can't like send money wire like Ripple, just like they promised. Today you can still send XRP. There is no like stable coin. You can send just like sending emails. But for USDT on TRON, I think you can have this kind of the experience, right? So you can send to like anybody in the world with like a TRON addresses, which is supported by like hundreds of exchanges in the world. You can sending them money, just like sending email like instantly, right? Within like 2 seconds, you can guarantee you receive the money. So that's like something I think first I get interested, but like later on, I believe it's like Swift is too old, right? It's like back to like World War II, right? When it first invented, and it's not smart at all. Swift system is not smart at all. So we want this kind of the smart, decentralized global settlement layer. So all the different kind of the fiat, they can be transferred, traded, settled in a smart network. So I think that's why we are doing all these in the first place. I think Tether got like very popular on TRON, not only on TRON, but also on crypto industry, is because like several reasons. The first reason why it even has the first use cases, I think, is because of the crypto trading, right? So everybody trading crypto need a settlement solution, basically stablecoin. So that's how it got popular in the first place. First adopted by Poloniex, later on, right, Binance, Cobie, like all different major offshore exchange in the world adopt like Tether. And later on, right, so all the crypto price grow and everything keep growing, right? So this kind of the market continue to grow, for example, over like $10 billion. And then at that time, it start to be adopted by some small like merchants, and lots of the companies use them purely, not trading, but purely as a settlement solution. For example, like even like our company, I know lots of the company these days, they paying their employee salary based on Tether or stablecoin, just using the TRON network, TUSD or USDT, just using the TRON network. And also I've seen a lot of people, even like those people who didn't have no idea about crypto at all, they start to receive Tether as like one of the payment solutions, right? One of them, for example, like Pornhub, you know, they start to accept cryptocurrencies. They start to accept like Tether as a payment, which, by the way, I think if like Tesla, those major like Amazon, those like major companies, if they really gonna start to accept like crypto, I think Bitcoin is good for PR wise, right? But I think eventually, lots of them, if they really want to enjoy the benefits of crypto, they has to use stablecoin, because stablecoin is easier for them to do the settlement, easier for them to book those revenue on their books, and easier to communicate with one another, because this is like a universal money standards for everyone. So that's why I think eventually I'm hopeful. Hopefully, I mean, in the next like 5-10 years, more and more people will start to use TRON as a smart settlement layer. So I hope like in the future, even banks will connect to those solutions. I have two examples. I think right now, like TRON is collaborating with TUSD. So you can instantly wire money into banks and mint TUSD on TRON. And those solutions is supported by Silvergate and Signature, which we announced both in United States. So basically today, if you want to, I can give you like a very smart solution. So if you only want to migrate wire money from Silvergate to Signature, if you do it in ACH, it's very slow. It costs you like, you need to make all the phone calls, right? And at least I think it's 4 hours, 5 hours, while like ACH, and it's very expensive. You don't need to do that. You can just burn the money in Signature, or you can just use the money in Signature to mint TUSD and burn in Silvergate. It's only cost you like less than 2 minutes. You can wire the money basically from Silvergate to Signature. I think the more banks supported this kind of the function, the more they can get settlement even within the TRON network.
I feel like what Ripple's big mistake was they tried to just go straight to legacy banks to try to get them to change the way they do settlement. Whereas Tether and, the advent of stablecoins and crypto was trying to create solutions for crypto native people and then make it an obviously better solution to the more progressive banks that are willing to kind of explore that area of the industry, versus for them to get Ripple to be used. The only people that ever used it were when they were also paying them a ton of XRP on top of it just to say they did. But they could never get real buy-in when they were trying to sell those legacy banks directly.
Listen, folks, you heard it here first. Justin's bearish on XRP. It's going to zero.
XRP to zero.
Justin, I like that the first example company you gave of like crypto payment adoption was Pornhub. Are you personally a subscriber on chain to Pornhub, or do you use credit card methods?
Pardon?
Like you said one of the first places that accepted crypto payments was Pornhub. Is this Did you discover this by personal subscription, or you just use credit cards?
So basically, I'm a Pornhub subscriber. So I subscribe Pornhub via TRX. So TRX is also supported by Pornhub. And also at the same time, I want to say is like, so I checked with Pornhub team. So crypto subscription did bring some like revenue to their business in the first place, because like lots of the people before they subscribe like Pornhub buy a credit card, which they feel extremely uncomfortable using credit card, right? So I mean, this is easy to imagine the situation, right? Their wives maybe gonna ask them, right, where those like payments for, right? Even I mean, I don't know, maybe on the bill it says like some like secret like services, right? Purchase online, I don't know. So that's why I think for most of the people, crypto is definitely a way like better solution for them to purchase like Pornhub membership, right? And I think it's also way like cheaper on process fee. For those like credit card process fee is like 1 or 2% of all the purchase fee. But you can see this is like almost goes to zero for TRX process fee, right? So for like every transaction, the process fee is less than 10 cents US dollars. So that's why I think crypto native plan it's also way like efficient than credit card payment solution. So that's why I believe in the future more and more commercial banks and merchants will start to accept like crypto payments.
Cobie, I'm sure
There
the
you go.
developers at Tron did plenty of testing to make sure it worked. So
You can save 2-3% on your pawn subscriptions. There you go, chat. I want to ask you a bit about the rise of alternative layer one. So from, I guess, the last year or so, you've seen sort of Solana, Cardano, Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, Mina. I'm trying to remember all of them because otherwise, if I just say the same ones, people think
Polygon.
I'm like picking favorites. Polygon don't count.
Okay.
But you've seen these like Ethereum killer narrative sort of crop up, and particular projects do well at particular times. And Binance Smart Chain obviously had a period of success with a lot of the TikTokers going straight to BSC, I guess, because they learned about crypto through Binance. How do you feel about that? How do you think like Tron fits into that ecosystem? Is there any of them that you like? Any of them that you don't like?
Yes. So first of all, I believe like competition breeds perfection, right? So if like we have like serious competition, it's gonna be better for the industry. Sushi force Uniswap to have a token, right? So I think those Ethereum killer or the Ethereum competitor gonna force like Ethereum to upgrade their network faster. I mean, so that's why I think competition is very important in our industry. For Tron's, I think strategy, we just still focus on usage. I think usage is very important. I talk about like USDT on Tron usage before, and for DeFi application and DApp application, we all have like all this kind of the usage in Tron space, like JustLand for it's like Compound on Tron. It's a lending platform. JustSwap is just like Pancake Swap, and Uniswap is DEX on Tron, and we have SunSwap. It's like Curve on Tron. And also WinkLink is just like Chainlink on Tron. So basically, we have this kind of very comprehensive ecosystem, have all different kind of the application built on Tron ecosystem. And for all different kind of the smart contract platform, I think definitely BSC is leading. I think one of the reasons is because Binance accumulate numerous amount of the users, like back to 2017, 2018. And I also think BSC is very good because it's first time introduced smart contract to lots of the people trading crypto, but never use decentralized solution at all. So you can see, I don't think like basically Binance basically rob lots of users from Uniswap. Instead of, I think a lot of people using Pancake Swap today, they have no idea what's like Uniswap at all. So some of them is the first time they are gonna trading on like decentralized DEX solution. So that's why I think Binance actually really promotes this kind of the AMM exchange concept and DeFi to the end users. So I think back to like last year, when Uniswap has most of the users, I think DeFi is still in like this kind of the DeFi community, right? But after Binance launched BSC, it goes to like all the small like traders become like the users of AMM DEX solution. So that's why I think Binance actually help this kind of the DeFi concept to be the mainstream narrative in our industry in the first place.
I think it was really a good test, if nothing else, to highlight just how much people will use these platforms if the fees aren't completely unreasonable. And the average person just can't afford to use Ethereum layer 1.
Exactly. I think Ethereum layer 1, at the end of the day, I don't think Ethereum migrate to Ethereum 2.0 is a good idea. I think Ethereum layer 1 should like stay at the same. They don't need like scalability solution. They should just like stay in layer 1 without like upgrade, and just make Ethereum like layer 1 solution to be more like Swift or like a settlement layer for lots of like layer 2. Basically, I think Ethereum still needs to keep these kind of the POW as a way of credibility of the network in the first place. Because if Ethereum migrate to POS, there is no like POW like level of the settlement, smart contract settlement anymore in our industry, right? So Bitcoin is not like smart contract platform, and other POW platform don't even have enough POW power in the first place. I read like an article talk about like how easy you can attack like Ethereum Classic, how easy like you can attack like other POW network, even like Dogecoin, right? So the network is very vulnerable. So that's why I think Ethereum should still stay in layer 1 solution and provide this kind of the settlement. But this kind of the settlement is not for customer, right? So it's just like, right, when Citibank settle with HSBC, right, it has to be expensive because they are settling like tens of billions of dollars. But if you are like customer, you need to go some like layer 2 solution or something. But I think Ethereum is migrate to 2.0, right? They eventually, based on their roadmap, they're gonna go to POW, but POS, sorry. But I don't think this is a good solution.
So does this mean that Tron's gonna like break away from Ethereum? You're not gonna go to proof of stake. You're gonna stay proof of work forever?
Oh, right now Tron is proof of stake. So for our
I don't know anything about anything. Come on, I do no prep for any of the shows.
Yeah. So it's depots. When I first like designed Tron to depots, I think the reason is because we seen like Ethereum and Bitcoin is doing very good on the POW solution, settlement solution. So we want to provide the best like POS solution for them. So even, I mean, today, if Ethereum migrate to POS, prove like I was right? But I don't want this because I think Ethereum gonna lose their competitive advantage as a POW settlement layer. So which I think is very important. And lots of the people in the industry, if they're using Ethereum or build on Ethereum, one of the most important reasons is Ethereum is using POW solution, which make them more comfortable to put their money on Ethereum. But if Ethereum migrate to POS, there is no difference between Ethereum and Tron, right? So it's OPO as settlement, but Tron gonna be still faster than Ethereum, right? So that's why I think Ethereum lose their advantage. But at the same time, even they can improve, for example, their speed by 10 times, 5 times, 10 times, but it's gonna still less than Tron, less than some of the competitor in the industry, but they lose their only advantages here.
It's interesting to me that one of the big critiques of Tron back when it launched was that it's Ethereum, but just proof of stake and faster block times or whatever the changes were. And then since then, it seems like pretty much every sidechain like thing, the big things people wanted were EVM compatibility and faster block times. So it's kind of been adopted as the like way to scale Ethereum, at least in the in-between before ZK rollups and some of that stuff starts to exist. How do you feel like Tron will fit in once ETH layer 2, not let's imagine ETH 2.0 doesn't even launch, but ETH layer 2 with ZK rollups, optimistic, that stuff. Where's Tron fit in that landscape in the smart contract world?
Yes, I think intercommunication between different blockchain is very important. So right now, Tron team is like one of the most important project we are working inside of Tron ecosystem is to building the bridge between Tron and the other smart contract platform. I think the first one definitely going to be like Ethereum. So we need this kind of the solution, fully decentralized solution for access between different blockchain platform. The first and foremost, I think, is Tether, right? So how do you swap like Tether on Tron with Tether on Ethereum? Most of the people swap them on Binance, Poloniex, those exchanges today. But can we have like a decentralized solution which available 24/7 anytime, right? For unlimited amounts, right? So you can swap just on your own. So that's why I think this kind of the internal layer 2 communication between different exchanges, between different protocols is very important. So that's something I think we are definitely working on. And also at the same time, I don't think like Polkadot and Cosmos solution is the right way. So basically Cosmos and Polkadot, they are invented like a completely new standards, right? Once like all the players you fit in. But eventually I think it's gonna be like basically the protocol and the standards is not like invented by some people. It's like used by everybody, and then it start to become like a standards. So that's why I think it's better. We need to find a like solution or the standards while like daily usage. So eventually, I think all the blockchain, if they have lots of traffic, they need to find this kind of the layer 2 solution to help Ethereum to scale on one side. On the other side, help like different blockchain to communicate. So that's like the future like picture of blockchain for me.
I want to ask a bit about like geopolitical stuff, maybe is the right sort of category for it, where on one hand you have the El Salvador news, where El Salvador is making Bitcoin legal tender and extending open invitations to blockchain entrepreneurs to come, I don't know, populate their country or something. And then on the other hand, you've got the latest news out of China that all the miners have got to leave, the exchanges are like closing or stripping down margin. I saw one thing that said some people have been forced to go to the police station to delete their apps off their phone or something. I don't know if that was real, so if you're watching this and like don't take my word for it. But like, well, like these two things that happen in the sort of a very similar time. I'd love to know your thoughts on the El Salvador stuff. And I saw you tweeted something about it, and you got retweeted by the president of El Salvador. Do you have plans to go to? Are you moving to El Salvador?
I definitely want to pay a visit to El Salvador. So and I mean in the near future. So I will try my best. And also I think at the end of the day, everybody will get into crypto. It's just like internet, right? So any country, for example, like North Korea, they are not like on the internet, but that's their loss, right? So they lose like all the network effects of internet. They lose all the knowledge, like treasure, like everything on the internet, right? So, but that's because like North Korea government decided not to get into internet in the first place, right? So they basically lose like everything. It's just like today, like everybody is using WhatsApp or using some messengers. But if you didn't get into the network, you lose like all the contact immediately, which is basically same to sanction, right? So U.S. like today they are sanctioned, Iran sanctioned like North Korea, for example, from like SWIFT transfer network. So Iran like completely lose like all the capability to trade with anybody in the world, right? Even they have enough like oil, they cannot even sell those oil to get supply they need, right? So nobody can like doing everything, right? They have to trade with other people. But if you get sanctioned by a network, you lose all the capability of doing business with others. So that's why I think El Salvador is a very small country compared to like China, those big country, India, China, all have these kind of the crypto, some level of the crypto ban news. But I think eventually El Salvador is the first country, but Bahamas, and lots of other like small countries is joining in this kind of the network, right? So everybody imagine like, for example, like if all the North American, South American, all the country, like 50 plus is joining the network, it's gonna have this kind of the force power to other countries. If you don't join the network, you're gonna face the loss. It's just like WTO, eventually everybody needs to join, because if you want to doing business with others, you need to join the network. Bitcoin will also have this kind of the network effects. If you didn't join, we know like back to like 1970s something, like China didn't even join WTO, right? But at the end of the day, right, if they really want to make money, they have to join this kind of the network. So I think it's like sooner or later, like all the country in the world, they have to join like crypto world or crypto network eventually, if they really want to make money on the business. It's just like internet, right? So there's no like any single country they can cut them from internet at all. So so that's why I think there's also, I think, a very good example we are talking about in China. So actually El Salvador create like a problem for I think China. Is like all the foreign currency trade in China is legal. Trading foreign currency in China is legal, right? Since Bitcoin is the legal currency in El Salvador, right? So you should have a right to trade El Salvador legal tender in China. So basically it's this kind of logic. Right now, even I think we already have this kind of argument, but it's not like a real problem. Is El Salvador don't have enough people in China, or China don't have enough people in El Salvador. But for example, if you can imagine if like Canadian, right, or Australia, like any like people have 10 million population, right, make Bitcoin as the legal tender of their country, China will soon like face this kind of the dilemma, right? If they ban like Bitcoin trading, but same time Bitcoin is the legal tender of those countries which they take seriously, they need to solve this kind of the problem. So I believe sooner or later they need to solve this. This is just like, some people in the El Salvador is using email, right? So, but right now China don't even have like an email server, so you can't receive email, right? So some people in China gonna bring up these questions. I want to receive email from El Salvador, right? What should I do, right? So you have like this kind of the services I can use, right? If El Salvador is very small, right? But if we got like more and more country and the country getting bigger, it's definitely something. I mean, eventually all the country, they need to solve this problem.
It created a really interesting backdoor, like you said, and it's not just for China, but a lot of countries that have existing laws and regulations that say we enable the transfer or the trading of legal tender from different countries. And it could change not only the ability to interact or trade some Bitcoin, since El Salvador has acknowledged it as legal tender, but also the tax implications potentially in some countries for how they even treat exchange between two legal tenders, which could change or kind of force a decision at a bare minimum on how to treat Bitcoin relative to other currencies. One of the things that I just don't know very much about, and I'd love to understand how it fits in with what you're doing, is BitTorrent, and like what was the goal when you acquired the technology with BitTorrent and the brand, and then how does it fit in with the TRON network?
Yes. So as we all know, like BitTorrent is the first like decentralized application ever, right? Even before like Bitcoin. One of the biggest example, if we are gonna talk about like decentralization, is better than centralization, even in terms of the efficiency. We will use like BitTorrent as an example. So it's like used by 1 billion people on Earth, and this solution is way better than the centralized solution, not only in a decentralized way, but also for file transfer. BitTorrent is just like faster than those like centralized solutions. So that's why I think this is one of the reason we acquired like BitTorrent back to 2018. So it's like we are not only limited ourselves in blockchain, but also I think we have bigger picture for Web3. It's like decentralized web, right? So we have this kind of the web like standards in our mind. So we are not only gonna build the decentralized solution for finance industry, for settlement layer, for this kind of the anything related to finance, but we also want to build something directly related to internet, right? So make like internet like a decentralized solution for everybody. So basically BitTorrent is doing well in the decentralized file transfer, right? And later we release BTFS, BitTorrent file system, which is a decentralized storage solution, right? So it's basically we expand it to a file storage area, right? So you can have a decentralized way to storage your files on the internet. And then we are right now working on decentralized live streaming solution as well. So I think this is like what BitTorrent is doing, is keep like building decentralized solution for different kind of the internet infrastructure. So you can see like TRON is basically focused mainly on decentralized blockchain solution, and BitTorrent is always focused on decentralized web solution here.
That makes sense. Yeah. Cobie.
You're asking about Buffett?
Yeah, I want to ask about Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett.
Maybe it was Warren's wife. Or we'll get to the wife later. We'll get to the wife in a bit.
So he's called Bitcoin rat poison, all this stuff. Auction to lunch. You paid like $4 million to go to lunch with Warren Buffett. Invited some other crypto folks. Was he nice in person? Was he a good listener? Did he give you some sage advice on life? What did you learn?
Yes, I think first of all, I pay around $4.5 million.
I didn't mean to short you $500,000 there. Good money for that lunch. It's good money for that lunch. 4.5 million.
Yes, and I invite like Charlie Lee. I think like some crypto friends I have like to the dinner, and I think Warren Buffett gave me like several good advice. first of all, I think he predicts like the value of cryptocurrency gonna increase in the future actually. So not like directly, but I think indirectly. So when I ask him like what he thinks about the COVID and the pandemic and what's gonna have impact on the crypto and also I mean even like stock markets. I think he gave me like a very good answer. So basically, he predicts like COVID because when I have like lunch with him, COVID is like very at that time it's not like a pandemic. Basically, it's only I think China is the basically has lots of cases, and we start to find out some case in Japan, Korea, basically North America, and at that time I was in after that I was in Cancun. So in Mexico and all the South American countries, there's no COVID cases at all. But he predicts like it's gonna go like viral, basically gonna be a global pandemic, and it will force like government to have this kind of the they're gonna keep printing the money, right? So even I mean at the beginning you're gonna see stock markets crash because everybody is so worried about COVID. It's just like some like apocalypse, right? But eventually it's gonna force like government to keep like printing money like crazy because they want to save the crisis, which gonna pump like everything, pump every assets ever. He gave me like a metaphor. He says like so basically this kind of pumping money, printing money, and this kind of the interest, government based interest is like gravity. So if like the gravity is very low, eventually like everything gonna flow, right? So no matter like it's a good assets or it's a bad assets, eventually if the gravity is goes to zero, right, everything gonna move, right? So the laptop, right, on my desktop, and also the bottle, water, like anything on the desktop gonna go into the moon because the gravity is going to zero, right? So that's why he predicts that. He says like eventually he believes all the gravity will go close to zero, right?
Amazing.
So which gonna cause lots of things on the moon.
For context, for people who listen, the lunch was January 23rd, 2020, when at that time COVID was being taken seriously in East Asia, but not like the US just shut down all of a sudden in like March or something. Like it was way too late. It was already all over America, and they were acting like people that knew anything was a risk in February were insider trading and stuff. Warren Buffett was acknowledging the risks of this in late January. So that's pretty.
Does that surprise you?
No,
Warren and George Soros and Hillary Clinton. Where do you think the COVID came from, mate?
Man, I think it was already in the U.S. in like December, based on some stories I've heard, and it's just the U.S. didn't really wake up to it until it was very late, and was probably wave 2 or something by the time it was actually being acknowledged. But,
so you pay $4.5 million for a lunch with an old guy, and you bid like $70 million for these NFTs. I've got to ask, and I know it's not a classy question, what's the stupidest thing you've ever spent money on? Like, what's the dumbest thing you've ever bought? Like, what's the, like, I spent $20 million on a banana or something. Come on. What is it? We need to know.
Let me think about that. Oh, I don't think this like, the dumbest thing in my life. I think this is still have some like meaningful, but this is definitely like one of the biggest loss I have in the crypto industry. I mean, back to like very, very like early days. I don't know if you guys like ever remember. So even before like Bitmain is dominates the mining industry, there is a person called like Fry Cat. He is like doing some mining companies in China. So he doing like some fundraising in the like Bitcoin Talk org. So that's how I know the company in the first place. And I participate like a small amount in he basically sell the stock based on Bitcoin value. So based on Bitcoin value. So I think when he first like sold those things, it's like zero point 0.1 Bitcoin for the stock. It's very, I mean, the stock number is very little. It's like 50K, something like that. So I think this is like the first like ever ICO happened in the space. It's back to like 2013. First like ICO something, and then it's got trade in like a crypto. It's not like even crypto exchange. It's more like crypto stock exchange called Bitfountain, something like that. Bitfountain, and the first day I got like all the dividends. Basically they gave dividends back to investor. I got like all my money back. So I was super excited at that time. Frycat, I think they are occupy like 80% something like hash rate of like Bitcoin, like dominate power or something like that. So it's like very early days, and then they basically got like the most of the Bitcoin minting like every day. So wow, I saw it's like a huge opportunity because I'm not like a Bitcoin believer, right? So I see they are doing like extremely well in the industry, and I spent like I think at least 1,000 something Bitcoin invest to the stock, to the stock. And the highest price of that stock is more like, I mean, this is more like ever happened in our industry again. Something using Bitcoin as a quote, right? But the price is actually higher than Bitcoin, right? So basically it went up to 5 Bitcoin per share. It's even if we consider today's price, is even more expensive than Berkshire Hathaway stock. 5 Bitcoin something. I mean, for the price of the stock, I buy a lot of that stock, and then the company goes to zero. I mean, in like 9 months or something. I think the only thing I ignore here is because the competition in the mining company is serious. You can lose all your market share like overnight or something. I witnessed their market share is like 80s, 70 something, and the went back to less than like 1%, less than way less than like 1% in like like basically 3-4 months.
Was that the first crypto rug pull?
Exactly. But the story happened after that is even more intriguing. So basically, the founder is like McAfee is like he's like at the beginning he's like a legendary like founder, right? Launched a very first like ICO, like very success, and then he like basically disappeared. I mean, in like early 2014 something. So basically he disappeared like forever with all the Bitcoin. Like his Bitcoin address is never like moved at all, and he's like disappeared. Some people say he's commit like suicide, but nobody even know where his body is. Like nobody even know.
Wow.
In China. So he's completely like disappear. And for me, I mean, I have to sell like some of the share. I even buy like 5 Bitcoin per share. I have to sell most of the share like less than 0.8 for the price. And the rest of the shares is also basically the Bitfountain, the exchange, so trade those shares. It's run away with their money. This one is literally run away with money. So he's run away with money. So they have like a twins exchange called like We Exchange something. I don't even remember. It's back to 2014 something. So so I lose that part of the money completely. And for the company itself, it goes to zero, and the founder is disappear like ever. So I think that for this case, at least I think total put together, I probably lose like 1,000 to 2,000 Bitcoin, something.
God. Oh dear God. So Justin, not long ago there was a massive market crash, right? And I was just browsing 4chan, you know, as you do, and I was reading this thread about the market crash, and it was saying that there's a conspiracy theory to try and liquidate someone that's trading on chain. There's a conspiracy that there was like, I don't know, a government agency was trying to liquidate someone on chain. And I started looking into this because I found it interesting. And I looked through Twitter and I looked through other places. And then it turned out that someone had slept with someone else's wife. And then they'd figured out who this trader was. And they were trying to liquidate him because they'd slept with his wife. And I did more investigation and I put things together. And it turned out that it was you. Like you'd slept with someone's wife, so that the government was trying to liquidate you, and it did actually drop below your liquidation price on liquidity or whatever, but you didn't get liquidated somehow. The people need to know whose wife was it, and I asked this question on Twitter, and someone pointed out maybe there's multiple wives. Maybe it's not just one wife. It's just like you're just spraying and praying, and then one of their husbands found out. So we need to know the truth.
It's like a DC's like wife universe or something like that. So basically, I also find very interesting is this kind of the like how like conspiracy like theory like breeds on the internet. I think the originally when I find out like at that day, right? So we have this kind of market crash, like everybody wants to find out, even myself, right? So every time like market crash, like everybody needs to find out the reason, right? Why market crash. But most of the time, based on my like experience, market just crash without like any reason because the market just wants to crash, right? But we need to find like a reason for the market crash in the first place. This is like basic instinct for like everybody on the market, right? So we need to find out like a reason why like market crash in the first place. And then at that day, I did have like a numerous amount of the money.
I thought you were going to say I did have a numerous amount of women. So no, you didn't sleep with anyone's wife, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so I will talk about that part later. So
Story goes on.
Yeah, so I did have like enough, lots of money, right? So I think it's around like $2 billion something, Ethereum on the on chain, right? So on the liquidity. So
Did you say 2 billion?
Yeah, I think it's 2 billion something.
Wow. Okay.
Once
Yes.
I DM'd Justin about a farm and he just moved like 2.5 billion over, so I was like, oh god.
Yeah, so basically, for those people who don't understand like liquidity, so this is like some like MakerDAO like competitor, right? Some MakerDAO like developer team even like support liquidity. I think this is a legit like MakerDAO competitor though. So basically, they provide like a more efficient way you can collateralize the Ethereum and generate stablecoin. So as we all know, like a MakerDAO is using like 150% of the collateral rate for DAI. But liquidity, I think their collateration rate is more like 110. So basically, they are more efficient than DAI. So, but why they can do that is a very complicated story. I won't go through that. So basically, the story is I put like all my Ethereum in liquidity, and then I generate LUSD in the system, and then I put those LUSD to mine LQTY, which is the token of like liquidity, right? So that's like the story. So you can see like after, I think at that time I have like $600 million or $700 million something to put into the staking pool. So when like Ethereum price at that day dropped to, I think at that day it's dropped to even like 1800 something.
Yeah. This was the big dump in May, right?
Yeah, exactly. From I think it's like even $4,000 something, $4,000 something. Yeah, directly to like 1800. So a lot of people get liquidated in liquidity. Not only liquidity, I mean Binance, like
just
every
everywhere.
exchange.
Just wreckage everywhere.
So numerous amounts of the money get liquidated. For my position, it's also breaks, I think, the liquidity line. My liquidity line is like 1900 something. It's break like 100 something. But the liquidation rule of the liquidity is basically they will liquidate those people basically have even less like collateral than me first. So I was in the line of the liquidation basically, but I'm like not the first in the line. So basically after they liquidate like 20% of those people in the line, I find out, right? So there's a huge liquidation comes out, and I basically repay like all the money back to drop my liquidation price to like 900 or something, right? So save enough for that day, and then so I didn't get liquidated, but this is definitely tell me like a very important like lesson, right? To be like we need to be like risk like management, right? So I have like 2 dedicated person after that day to just watch the bots for me. Basically we have like this kind of the liquidation lines, and we will always trying to be like 100% way above like the liquidity line. So even, I mean, most of the time you are fine, but maybe some like very extreme moment, right? It's gonna happen in the crypto industry. I mean, for 1 or 2 days, if you trading like or mining like all day long, right? So for like whole year, you gonna have like 1 or 2 days like this. So that's why I think this is a very precious lessons for me. Never risk your money in this kind of the situation again. And also at the same time, I mean, when I check online about like how this liquidation happens, right? Purely based on algorithm, right? But unfortunately, it's become like some like conspiracy stories, right? As we all know, right? So I feel like it's very hilarious, and how those story because not only you guys, but also like the second day when I woke up in Hong Kong, I got lots of text message from like my friends, right? Everybody sent me those like Instagram and TikTok videos, right? And they ask you guys the same question to me. They even want to like ask me like who I have slept with like in the past like 90 days, right? Try to figure out like where's the clue. So that's why I feel like this kind of the like internet conspiracy theory like happens is very it's very basically interesting to me.
So just blink twice if it was Elizabeth Warren.
While you work on your blinking,
AOC, maybe AOC.
now we know the real deal, where his heart lies. So Titan was a pretty similar. The chat's euphoric. Titan was a pretty similar concept to Liquidity, trying to bring down the collateralization ratio with a stable coin. Except for instead of going from 150 or 175 or whatever it is for Maker, Liquidity is at 110. Titan was at 75. So it was under collateralized as a stable coin. It blew up. Mark Cuban lost, I think, $8 million in it, but there were billions of dollars in it. Were you aping Titan on Polygon? Were you interested in that one, or had you already learned your lesson enough?
Yeah, so first of all, I didn't ape into Titan. I know the project, but I think like Titan is too risky. So that's why I didn't go into Titan at all. So I think for this kind of like the collateralized protocol, everybody definitely needs to be like cautious about this kind of the product. First of all, I mean, not only because of the under collateralized, but also this kind of the collateralized protocol is very easy for them. If you have like one single smart contract problem, there's a possibility you can even lose like all your money in the vault in the first place. There is already like several like attacks happen in BSC, right? So which lots of people lose like all their money in the vaults in the first place. Not even talking about like this kind of the flash loan attack. Lots of people also lose money on that as well. So that's why I definitely want to remind like everyone, be cautious for using DeFi product. Never like put like more than 10% of all your money into the new DeFi product, especially. For like mature like DeFi product, for AV, for example, AV compound, like JustLand, like Sun, like Curve, I mine in all those protocol is very safe, like EPS, Ellipsis, Binance, Liquidity. I think is very safe. You can put more money, but for those like small DeFi product, I think never put more than 10% of your money into those protocols.
I can't believe you aped $2 billion into Liquidity. What drives?
I think it's especially good advice right now. It's becoming exit scam season when the markets drop and all these like BSC projects have been rugging. A couple of like ETH2 staking projects have blown up in the last week. So I do think it is good advice to like check where your money is, make sure you know where you can get rugged, if anywhere, and try and like reduce allocations there, revoke any like token like fucking requests on your MetaMask and all that shit. I think it is important.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you, Ledger. You were saying
it's fine. I want to know, because you have more money than I would ever dream about. If I could take 10% of what you almost got liquidated for in Liquidity, and I would just walk away, I'd have a great life. So I want to know, are
Still
you
do the podcast though, right?
what's that?
You
Yeah.
still do this with me, yeah?
Yeah, and yeah, I'll still do it. This is not work.
Alright,
This is
cool.
fun. You're not just saying like, okay, well, I'm building my legacy through the software that we create with TRON and Bittorrent. You're exploring like the most degenerate stuff in DeFi and aping into things and buying NFTs and exploring. What's your motivation in all this? It's obviously not money. You got more money than, 99.99999% of the people in the world. So what's the motivation?
I think first of all, I want to I think I want to learn in the first place. I think the best way to learn is to use those products to buy those things in the first place. It's also force you to learn in the first place because everybody is extremely busy these days. If you didn't ape into something, right, so you won't be able to pay attention to them ever again. So that's why even like some of my friends back to 2012, even today, if anybody didn't get into crypto, ask me about like, I want to learn something about like crypto. I'm gonna tell them the first thing you need to learn about crypto is buying crypto first. So if you are buying like one Bitcoin, right?
First, ask questions later.
Exactly. And you're gonna become a crypto expert, even like have more knowledge than me because you care about your investment, right? You care about like everything happened in crypto industry in the first place. I can give you like an example. So my mom, recently, like she didn't even know about crypto at all. So, but recently, she followed my advice, purchased like some Bitcoin, right? So, and then after that, she become like an expert on crypto, like following Bitcoin news, like every day. So he is like basically sending me like Bitcoin news like every day. She sent me like 5 like Bitcoin news. Most of them I don't even pay attention to. It's like some random like expert saying Bitcoin to the moon. He sent me like, is that real? It's like really going to the moon? Exactly. And how is have impact on crypto price? I mean, how it has impact on crypto price? And then my mom is like learning like Elon Musk, like history, like a history professor, She is getting like all the quote of Elon Musk and all the tweet and try to see something through his tweet, right? It's this every tweet, I mean, Elon Musk tweets, she reaction gonna be like, is this bad for crypto or good for crypto? We do need to do the analysis. So basically, if you want to really learn something, I think buying crypto is very important. So that's why like I require myself like every DeFi product, I will use them first and ape into them first. Even for most of the new product, I'm gonna only try like very small amount of the test min or test first, buy some like test token first. But I'm gonna try all of them. For NFT, it's the same. So I'm buying lots of NFT, not even on the news headline, right? So I just want to learn about them. I want to see the community, why people get excited about that. So that's why I think buying those and I ape into those product is very important for you to learn in the first place. I participate in all like Compound, AV and all like Maker, those all like early days like DeFi protocol as well. So I just want to be like very active in the space to witness the history and be a part of it. So I think that's like my ultimate motivation.
I love this idea that your mom's just sending you news, and I'm imagining like, Justin dear, I'm reading all this news, and what's this about someone else's wife, son? She asked you,
the reason I got liquidated in the first place, right?
Does your mom know the influence that you have in the space now, or do you like try to downplay that stuff with your family?
So yes, I want to downplay basically this kind of the influence. Because I mean I need to give them literally like finance advice like every day, right? So after my mom like get into crypto, she's like it's like everybody else. It's like when you first time get into crypto, first like I think 90 days you trade like basically 10 times like try to like make more money, right? So I think this is like everybody do. I mean, when they first get into crypto. So and my mom definitely knows like I have some influence in the industry, but I'm like avoid to talk with her about like what I'm doing and also and basically what like basically most of things happen in crypto. I just want to spend more time with her and share like those family like moments.
That's cute.
Very wholesome. Very wholesome.
So
Ledger, I got 2 questions left.
Yeah, 2 questions. Let me ask one. Set it up real quick. There's a trend. There's a trend of content. You talked about the attention economy in crypto. And I don't know if you know, but Up Only TV is actually, I think, the fastest growing podcast in all of crypto. And I wanted to see, like, are you willing to make an offer? Can we talk about whether or not this would be a good piece of Justin Sun's overall portfolio of tools? I got to talk to Cobie a little bit about it, but if you make a good offer, we can talk on the backside of this to see if it would fit.
What's your number, Ledger? I
already told you, 200 million. I'll walk away. It's a great day.
I love to have like up only like NFT with you guys.
Oh, there we go. We can make that happen.
Yeah, look, just buy the podcast for 200 million from Ledger, and you can make as many NFTs as you want.
Cobie, what was your question?
Mine was a final question we do at the end of every episode. We ask our guest the same question end of every episode, and we're looking for like a piece of life advice, basically, like some wisdom, some life lesson that you can pass on to our viewers who have been watching this, trying to figure out whose wife you slept with, and now they want some payoff for sticking with it. So basically, like something that you find yourself often thinking about or applying in life, like a teaching, a piece of wisdom, maybe something that's been passed down through your family, maybe something you read in a book once, maybe a song lyric that you just thought, yeah, that really gets me. That the viewers can apply to make themselves richer, happier, more fulfilled, healthier, whatever, just to improve their lives a little bit of free alpha for the viewers. What do you got for us? And people always say to me, you ramble and you say that for so long every time. And the reason I do that is because you put people on the spot when you ask this question. You're saying, like, summarize your entire life into one teaching that you can pass on to future generations. So that's why I talk for so long, to give the guest a while to think about it.
Yeah, I think I have like one lessons my dad told me is that like the worst is more focused on the result, but you yourself, you need to enjoy like the process. So basically it's like today, right, everybody in the crypto industry, even like our friends, like everybody else in the world, is more like focused on how much money you make from crypto, right? So if you make lots of money, people gonna like respect you or anything like that, right? If you lose money, like people gonna mock you, right? So they're gonna tell you like, right, Bitcoin gonna crash anyway, something like that. But I think everybody else besides you, they don't know like the story happened in the crypto space. They don't know like basically there is like real person, real story like happen in crypto industry like every day. Lots of people is putting their efforts, putting all their hearts in the cryptocurrency industry every day. And as like one of the builders and one of the people has been in the crypto community for so long, I think the meaningful moment for everybody here is not the result. Basically, we need to enjoy the whole process, to enjoy the trip, to have to make all this happen in the first place. So that's why I think for myself, the process itself, the journey itself really means a lot to me. And I think this is only the beginning of the crypto journey for everybody in the industry. We still have like 5 years for me, right? This is 9 years for me, but I think we still have another like 9 years, 80 years, even like 27 years, way to go here.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Justin. Any amount of years as long as a multiple of 9. Ledger, parting thoughts?
I'm now combining these numbers, trying to figure out Justin's passwords. Thank you so much, Justin. This was a pleasure. You're a great guest, and we enjoyed it thoroughly. Everybody, follow Justin on Twitter. We'll put all the links to all those places in the show notes. Go to uponly.tv/blockfolio. Make your first trade there today if you haven't already. Thanks for everybody for being with us. If you enjoyed this show, you can rate us and all that stuff. Thumbs up, who cares? Uponly.tv/blockfolio. We'll talk to you next time.
Please give us a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.